hated to spoil your image of me, of that cool cat inspector you always looked up to. Is that really the image she had of him? You think it's like, Lynn's always talking about the detective she looks up to, and Cabanela just assumed it was him?
Yeah, he's so cool. He's got that great stance.
And that hair. Oh. What were we doing?
Well, we just rescued these poor guys from certain death.
Yeah.
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 Missed out on really embarrassing Cabanela.
This man broke his whole ass.
And his ribs.
And his ass ribs.
And his ass ribs. Hello, everyone. I'm Dean.
He's ass.
That's.
I'm sorry. He's he's Dean.
I'm Dean. That's Donnie.
I'm Dean.
No, you're not.
What?
There's our AD.
I'm Dean.
Stop it! Stop stealing my identity.
AD stands for a Dean.
This is why So I should have invested in NordVPN. Anyways, let's continue playing.
Click here for. Use this code to.
69420, blaze it.
God. Alright,
Or you could talk to people.
Yeah, wait.
Do we talking to these people?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess do it.
Yeah.
See what they gotta say for themselves. Superintendent.
I'm counting.
Located entirely in your kitchen.
Located entirely in your bag.
In your basement.
Oh my god, he was hiding Aurora Borealis. Do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I haven't always been a junkyard superintendent, you know. I used to be a part of the police.
What the heck?
I would have said he was a pro wrestling referee. But, okay, that works too, I guess.
What?
I was just gonna get some random...
Oh, okay. I used to be a podiatrist. The police, huh?
Not as a detective, but as a medical examiner. I investigated victims' causes of death.
Oh, he was the blue guy.
Oh, yeah, but he actually...
He got replaced by the blue guy.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I was asked to autopsy a strange corpse. Hit by a meteorite fragment and died instantly. That's what the police report said.
Ooh.
There were no signs of life. He was definitely dead. But I never filed an autopsy report.
Right, because...
That's because the corpse suddenly vanished, leaving behind only one clue.
a load of hair gel.
An unusual corpse. I bet that's what I've been chasing all night.
It makes sense, because blue text, right?
Yeah, I
guess
suppose,
it's internal
yeah.
monologue, yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't hear other characters' thoughts.
Yeah.
Could you tell me more?
Yeah, sure. I have an interest in you recovering your memory and finding your true identity, too.
Alright.
That's the only way I could describe it, too. It was an unusual corpse. It was dead, all right. No question about that. But there wasn't a scratch on it.
Not a scratch? But I thought he was hit by a meteorite fragment.
I don't understand it any more than you do.
It just healed over, huh?
I was completely bewildered. But when I tried to autopsy him, I was even more puzzled. I couldn't perform the autopsy.
The fuck? You couldn't? What do you mean?
The scalpel went in, but I couldn't cut. As soon as I tried to make an incision, it would heal up in the very next instant. And that's how it went. No scarring and no blood either.
Damn.
It's so unusual.
You think he's just like full of things? Like, I mean, if the scalpel goes in but won't cut, like, could you have potentially just lost the scalpel in there?
Jesus
Every
Christ.
time this guy gets shot, I mean, like, the bullet clearly makes an impact. It potentially goes in. You think he's just full of bullets?
You think he's just on a perpetual no-fly list?
That's why he has to get a submarine.
Right. It might be like a Wolverine thing. He heals and it just pops out. Yeah. Anyways.
But not with the meteor, I guess.
Yeah.
And I never had the chance to solve the mystery.
That's because the corpse up and vanished on us.
The morgue is well guarded. Nobody could have stolen that body.
But no one saw the body get out either?
Yeah, right?
But there is one way the corpse could have disappeared.
What's that?
A magic trick.
God, even the way that he, like, gets up is just unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, he has a hard time moving his body.
Well, imagine you're not only piloting,
You're not already piloting the meat Gundams. You're like,
you're piloting the pilot of the meat Gundam. It got up, opened the door, and walked out on its own.
what?
He was dead, but he wasn't dead.
We saw it with our own eyes tonight. Not even that explosion could kill him.
And he didn't even feel it when he slipped.
And he didn't even feel it when he slammed his fist on that stove.
Alright, the clue?
The corpse left behind some data from some testing I did. I got some readings for some kind of radiation coming off that body.
Radiation?
I used all kinds of instruments, but I couldn't determine exactly what kind of radiation it was. Some undiscovered type from a world unknown.
Wait a minute. Could it be?
That's right. It was coming from that meteorite fragment. I went to that park and tested the spot where the meteorite fell. And just as I expected, I detected radiation coming from that crater. It was the exact same pattern of radiation as that of the corpse.
So this guy did. I know.
You know?
But you mean to tell me that this guy, like, drew the line from, like, missing corpse man to meteor and somehow did not dig up that meteor?
Right?
Yeah, you'd think you'd at least would, like, kind of dig and just get a chip off it or something.
Yeah, right?
I mean, he probably did. That's probably what all those little rocks in his freaking
His lab.
lab are.
Yeah, makes sense.
But excavate the whole thing, you know?
At the time, I thought he was some kind of immortal being. He would die only to come back to life. I wanted to research it in depth, all in depth, so I quit my job as a police medical examiner. Several years later, I came to learn the connection between my research and the manipulator case. Thanks to the arrival of this crazy character here.
Oh, stop now, Professor. You want to see me blush? Dang,
Hey.
we're going in.
It was about a year ago, I'd say. This man in white came dancing into my research lab here.
Literally.
Yep.
I heard there was an oddball here who was researching Temsic. Is that you, baby?
No!
What the hell do you want?
Who are you to be calling anybody an oddball?
I was investigating the manipulator case then. And then I heard there was a man who'd quit the police force to study the meteorite. When I heard that, it was like a meteorite had struck me on the head. Oh, it's these dweebs.
The jobbers.
At the time, we were just starting to get leads on this manipulator. We didn't know who he was yet, but we knew he was communicating with a foreign country. In one of those communications, we heard the manipulator say this: "The source of my power is not of this world." And that's when I put 2 and 2 together, baby. The manipulator case and Temsic were somehow connected.
Which also explained how 5 years ago he used his powers to manipulate a birthday surprise a little girl made for her mother.
He added that gun to the contraption most likely by controlling Camilla.
Oh,
That's it. Do we talk to this man now?
yeah, I guess so.
We already talked to this man.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
If I knew things were gonna end up like this, I would have tried to die in that explosion, baby. That way, I could have been dancing after Big Red by now. I might be able to erase deaths, but it's true I can't do much about injuries. But really, you shouldn't talk that way. Yeah, sorry. I suppose you're right. I just hate feeling so helpless. He was right there within my grasp. All our plans were resting on tonight, and then this had to happen. I guess he's thinking about his spotless record. It's not too late, Inspector. We still have a chance. Maybe I can catch him. Say, you're right. That's not a bad idea. I'll cooperate with you fully. Go ahead and fire away with any questions you like, Mr. Ghost.
Oh no.
Oh, there's more.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's more.
Take a drink. We're gonna need it.
Oh. That guy mentioned revenge. Revenge against the people who stole his life away 10 years ago.
He's a fool. He's the one who made the decision to take that little girl hostage, and he wound up dead. He only has himself to blame.
But what about when he said this? I was murdered by all of you. Detective Jowd, who forced me into a corner, Lynn, the girl who was playing in the park, and finally, you, Inspector Cabanela. If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. Yes, 10 years ago on that day, Special Investigation Unit was working on a certain big case. We hauled in a young man, an important witness to our investigation. And then I did it. I made 2 very stupid mistakes. Detective, I'm telling you, I don't know anything about it. Fine. You're under no obligation to talk, of course. But if you don't, the Special Investigation Unit can make the rest of your life a living hell. But I'd just been assigned to the Special Investigation Unit, you see. They didn't share much info on big cases with a newbie like me yet, and I wanted to impress them. It was only supposed to be a simple matter of taking his statement. But I was too green. I pushed him too hard. I drove him into a corner and made him lose all hope. That was my first mistake. And then I made another mistake on top of that.
Cabanela, got a minute? The chief wants to see you about your report.
Got it. I'll be right there. You stay right here and be a good boy now. And that's when I did it. I left it behind in the interrogation room. My gun.
You're shitting,
Bro!
Actually insane.
How could you?
He used my gun to escape. What he said is true. If I hadn't made that mistake, he never would have had a gun to point at Lynn in the first place.
Bro. Oh my god.
There's being green, and then there's why'd you take it out of your holster, man?
That's a huge fucking mistake.
I wonder if that was changed at all. Like I either between then and now, and or between translation or something. I feel like it was implied before that he deliberately gave him the gun.
Why?
Or something. I don't know. It's been too long.
Alright.
We first found out about the manipulator's existence during a certain overseas communication. Overseas communication? For national security purposes, this country keeps tabs on the communication networks. This particular communication was about making a deal with a certain foreign country. He said he wanted them to buy him and his powers. That's how we first heard about him. Of course, we didn't know what he looked like at the time. And in order to prove these powers of his, he gave them two predictions. He foresaw two completely preposterous, impossible cases. The case of a man who would sing national secrets during a live rock concert broadcast. And the case of a man who would take the chief commissioner hostage in his own office. Those two inmates at the special prison, eh? We kept tabs on their communications and launched an investigation. And then, finally, we pinpointed where they were going to meet tonight and staked it out. That restaurant, the Chicken Kitchen. The manipulator plans on leaving this country tonight on a submarine that belongs to the other country in this deal. Submarine? But we haven't been able to find out where it's going to surface. It's terrifying to think what would happen if his powers were to fall into their hands.
Right. Highly unlikely they'd use them for peaceful purposes.
Now they have that little girl as a hostage. Camilla. We have to stop him before he leaves the country. This spotless record of yours, is it really that important to you? Of course, baby. In some ways, it's more important to me than my life. Than your life, eh? After all, it's because of my record that I'm able to get my hands on all intel as head of the Special Investigation Unit. And because of my position, I get to direct all aspects of the investigation into the manipulator case. The manipulator case? That's why you cared about your record so much? Of course. Why else, baby? I just never could believe it, man. Jowd shooting Alma? I didn't care that he confessed. There was definitely something more to the story. Some secret. I did everything I could to climb the ladder. Everything in my power. And then I finally found the answer. It took 5 long years, though. The manipulator. He's going to prove that Jowd is innocent. What incredible determination. There's one thing I just don't understand. If you were so determined to help Detective Jowd, why didn't you help him escape from prison? That's an easy one, baby. Escaping from prison is a crime. I wasn't about to help him commit a crime after spending 5 years trying to prove him innocent. And he himself asks to be executed, you know. As a man of the law, I had to make sure the execution was stopped legally. And that's why I brought him before the Justice Minister, too. I needed to buy as much time as I possibly could, baby. So that's it, eh? But there's one little unfortunate result of all this. Lynn completely misunderstood your intentions. Ha! What's a little misunderstanding? My baby will come around. Give it time. But there are more important things to do with our time tonight. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, get
so
me
sorry.
away from this, man.
I'm so sorry.
So that contraption in the basement here, you built that to try and help Detective Jowd?
That's right. Jowd and I worked together back when I was with the Force. I used the reports of his case to try and recreate the device. But there was just one part of it that I couldn't reproduce no matter how hard I tried.
Camilla told Jowd it did something it shouldn't have, made an impossible move.
I added that part to the device I recreated. I put in a part that would allow Cupid to rotate, otherwise the gun wouldn't fire.
So that must mean somebody manipulated Camilla's contraption. As a result, we proved to ourselves that the manipulator actually existed. Oh shit, there
Inspector
she is.
Cabanela!
Hey, baby.
My ribs is broke.
Sorry about that phone call. I must have sounded like a real villain. I hated to spoil your image of me. Of that cool cat inspector you always looked up to. Is that really the image she had of him?
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, like I don't think so.
Inspector Cabanela, I'm sorry. I just heard.
You think it's like, Lynn's always talking about the detective she looks up to and has been her hero, and Cabanela just assumed it was him.
Yeah, he's so cool. He's got that great stance. Looks like a man that just doesn't take crap from anybody.
And that hair.
You were chasing after that man all this time to try and help Detective Jowd.
But she says I look a little chubby.
I've been putting on weight lately. I thought all this dancing would help keep me in shape. This manipulator is such a dangerous character. I was hoping you didn't have to be involved.
So that's why you had me arrested tonight, isn't it?
Like I always say, if somebody's in the way, throw 'em in the slammer. Yikes. Tonight, I really thought we finally had him. But my body gave out on me right at the critical moment. It's like a cruel joke. What a sick...
But a joke is a joke. You might as well laugh.
Jowd!
The minister called off the execution order. And while he's at it, he let Detective Jowd go free until tomorrow morning, too.
That's a pretty extreme while he was at it.
Oh god, all the fucking, paint splotches on his hoodie just shifted.
I saw, yeah.
Sorry I took so long to get here. You can leave the rest to me.
There you go again. You've always been like that. You make everybody else run around, and then you swoop in at the last second.
Jowd.
Oh shit.
That's what that coat's doing here.
That makes sense.
5 years ago, you left this coat with me just before you turned yourself in. I promised to give it back to you one day. Do you think it fit?
Oh my god.
Yep.
God damn. You know what? Turns out that fucking hoodie just adds a fucking beer gut to him, I guess.
Right?
Fucking takes that thing off and suddenly he's stacked.
Built like a brick shithouse, yeah.
The hell they feeding that boy in prison?
Chicken!
Chicken kitchen.
Holy
Lots
shit.
of protein! I've been waiting so long, Detective Jowd. Waiting for this day to come.
It's got the real friggin' Cody attire over here.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks for not giving up on me, Lynn. Okay, I'm off then.
Good luck, my old friend.
What a fucking weird police report. If you see a man in a prison outfit and trench coat, he's fine. This present you gave me, it's just what I needed. Thank you.
Glad you like it. I wonder what it is about it.
Sissel, are you there?
She's staring right at the freaking camera, dude. Yeah, I'm here.
You and I have to go find that man. I need your help. Will you do this with me?
Sure, but how? We don't know where the submarine is, and the phone line doesn't work.
They use communications to make their call. They use communication cables to make their calls.
They use communication.
We'll get
Crazy.
We'll get you hooked up somehow. You'll see. Could you wait here until we do? Please?
They use proper communication.
It's
I
important.
heard that they dot their I's and cross their T's.
Crazy. Punctuation and grammar and everything. Okay, fine. I'm counting on you.
Sometimes they punctuate so hard, they use a semicolon.
Semicolon.
Can you show me?
I'd be right happy to. See how I do it here?
A comma and a dot. Fucking semicolons.
This true self you're looking for. I bet you'll find it soon. Alright, I'm leaving, Inspector Cabanela.
It's almost dawn. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm actually further from knowing who I am than ever. But now, I don't feel so alone. Each one of us, for his or her own reasons, is looking for the truth. Together, I think we can shed light on these mysteries and drive away the darkness. But it's almost dawn.
Alright.
Hooray!
Two.
The soundtrack's so bumpin'.
Alright. 2:55 to 3:39 a.m.
Something.
Alright.
New background.
Background.
New background.
Background.
Oh shit, dude. It's such a
The worm!
Take Ghost Trick. Lingering Death. New illustration. Sissel. Alright, let's save it. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Next time or does it?
Yeah, next time.
Okay, we'll be back.
This long night is drawing to an end.
Yeah, it looks like it. Thank you for all your help tonight.
I'm the one who should be thanking you.
At the other end of the phone line, I'm finally gonna find all my answers. I'd better go.